Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into a topic that, honestly, it gets my blood boiling. It's about the shadowy side of the wellness world, these so-called healers who prey on people's vulnerabilities.
It's so true, Betsy. And it's not just a theoretical problem for me, it's something I've lived through. It's wild how desperate you can get when you're truly sick, looking for any answer, any relief.
Absolutely. That desperation can lead you down some really dark alleys, and that's where these scammers, these opportunists, they just thrive. And you've got a really specific, really painful story to share with us today, don't you?
I do. It's about Brooklyn and Nick Hanna and their program called Limbic System Rewire. You know, when you're looking for understanding, for someone to just get what you're going through, you're open, and they seem to offer that. But what they offered was a $4,000 course with, well, basically just worksheets and a weekly live session.
$4,000 for worksheets. That's an astronomical amount, especially when you consider what people are often going through when they're seeking this kind of help. They're usually at rock bottom, right?
Exactly. My mom, for example, she's a widow, she's older, and she was looking for answers, for comfort. And these two, Brooklyn and Nick, they're not bad looking people. They have this charisma. They put on this whole facade of caring. And my mom, bless her heart, she bought right into it.
But that's heartbreaking. It's like they specifically target the vulnerable, those with an open heart and perhaps less skepticism. What was their whole hook, their origin story that made them seem so credible?
Oh, it was a whole narrative. Back in 2024, I was sick, and they claimed Brooklyn was severely sick, couldn't eat certain foods, really struggling. And then, wait for it, God healed her miraculously. She could suddenly eat everything again. And so, based on this divine intervention, she and her husband created this course, supposedly rooted in Christianity, God, and Jesus.
Wow. So they leveraged a deeply personal, spiritual experience as the foundation for a very expensive commercial venture. That's a potent blend, isn't it? It adds a layer of untouchability to their claims. Who's going to question God's work?
Exactly. It's the perfect mask, right? It makes you believe they genuinely care about people, about helping. It gives them this aura of trustworthiness, almost sanctity. And when you're hurting, you cling to that. You want to believe in miracles.
And you were in a really bad place yourself, weren't you, when you found them?
Oh, Betsy, I was sick, really, truly sick. For 6 months, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sit still, I couldn't sleep. I was in and out of hospitals multiple times. Doctors were stumped. I was desperate, absolutely desperate. So, when I saw their message, this promise of healing, especially one tied to faith, it resonated deeply with me.
And you invested in their course, hoping for that same divine healing Brooklyn supposedly experienced. What was the core of their teaching specifically?
It was just eat whatever and be healed. That was essentially the big takeaway, coupled with these generic worksheets that didn't really provide any actionable or personalized insights. It was all very vague, very mindset over matter, but without any real practical tools to facilitate actual healing, especially when your body is truly struggling.
So you spent $4,000, you were in severe distress, and their advice amounted to just eat whatever? That sounds incredibly irresponsible, bordering on negligent, especially for someone with complex health issues.
It felt like it. And the worst part, 2 years later, I was still struggling. I reached out to them for a refund, explaining that their limbic system rewire BS hadn't worked at all. I got hit with silence, Betsy. Just silence. No response, no explanation, no refund.
Silence from people who claim to be guided by God and Jesus? That really undermines their entire narrative, doesn't it? It screams scam when the mask of compassion falls away at the first sign of accountability.
Right? I mean, is that what God and Jesus does? Just doesn't answer you when you're seeking help, when you've invested so much, both financially and emotionally? It completely shattered my trust, not just in them, but in that whole spiritual healing space for a while.
And it forced you to look elsewhere, didn't it? To find your own path to healing, which is often the case when these programs fail.
Exactly. I ended up healing myself, Betsy. Not through their worksheets or their eat whatever philosophy, but by truly reading, researching, and learning about food, about how sugar specifically messes up our prefrontal cortex, our entire system. I had to become my own health detective.
That's an incredible testament to your resilience, but it also highlights the stark difference between genuine healing and superficial promises. So, while you were doing the hard work, what were Brooklyn and Nick still doing?
They're still out there, pushing the exact same message: eat whatever you want and be healed. They're still eating sugar and whatever they want, and promoting that as the path to health. Which, good for them if it works for them. But it's not a universal truth, and it's certainly not what helped me.
And that's the insidious part, isn't it? The message of eat whatever is incredibly appealing because it doesn't ask people to make difficult changes. Nobody wants to give up their booze, their pizza, their chips, their tacos, their corporate coffee, or should I say milkshake with a fun name? It's the easy button, the path of least resistance.
Exactly. People want the magic pill that lets them continue their habits without consequences. But I'd rather have sustainable energy from eating no sugar than crashing and being an insomniac for life, which is where I was headed. It's a trade off, but one that leads to real well being.
It sounds like you found a much more empowering and effective solution, one that required personal effort and real knowledge. Meanwhile, these folks are still in the business of selling illusions.
They are. And now they've got ads popping up all over Facebook trying to hook more people into their funnel. It's almost clumsy the way they're trying to navigate social media. Honestly, it makes me think their brains are fried from constantly eating sugar because their marketing strategy isn't exactly sharp.
That's a bold observation, but it speaks to the frustration, doesn't it? Seeing them continue to operate, knowing the lack of real value they provide. It really underscores the importance of critical thinking and vetting anyone who promises a quick fix, especially at that price point.
Absolutely. My advice to anyone out there feeling desperate, looking for healing: do your research. Don't fall for the charisma or the spiritual mask. If it sounds too good to be true, or if it costs $4,000 for worksheets, it probably is. And definitely question anyone who tells you to just eat whatever when you're genuinely ill.
Honest Jay, your story is incredibly powerful, and I'm so grateful you shared it with us. It's a stark reminder that true healing often comes from within, through education and conscious choices, not from expensive, superficial programs. We need to be vigilant, protect ourselves, and really lean into our own wisdom.
Thank you, Betsy Blue. And I hope anyone listening who might be in a similar situation finds the strength to step back, reevaluate, and seek out real solutions. There are answers out there, but they rarely come with a $4,000 price tag and a side of silence.
Preach! That's a perfect note to end on. Honest Jay, thank you again for being so open. And to all our listeners, stay safe, stay skeptical, and keep seeking your truth. We'll catch you next time.